Hey, Milsurp Garage. Big news on the Milsurp Garage channel. And this might turn into no news like pretty immediately. What happened was when you reach 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of viewing on your channel, you're eligible for monetization. Now, if you're like me, you always wondered, kind of like you've heard of that before, but you're like, what kind of monetization does this mean? I mean, obviously, if you're a big channel and you have millions of subscribers or views, you probably could make a lot of money. I heard that guys like FPS Russia had made, a career out of that, made a ton of money because of his YouTube videos, but like a small channel like mine, if it gave me a little extra money here and there just to put some ammo on the table, it'd be easier to, maybe get to the range and actually be able to do some stuff or use some of that money to travel to different areas. I would definitely put it back into the channel. It'd be kind of interesting to see what I could do with this channel if I had some cash, if it was generating some money. Well, the monetization kind of happens all by itself, but they had put me under review, okay? So I was like, all right, here we go. So you're not monetized right away. You're under review. So that was quite a long time ago, and I just kind of forgot about it. But then today I got an email that I was approved for monetization. So I'm like, okay, let's see. So we'll take this to the next step. So I go on the channel. So now you guys might notice if you go to look at my videos now, an ad might pop up here and there. Bear with it. I mean, I don't know if this is just a nothing thing and this turns into just being annoying, or it's not really generating anything and it's just more annoying than anything else, I'll just turn it right off, so it doesn't matter. But bear with the ads here and there, and let's see where this goes. Let's see what actually happens with this. I had watched YouTube for years with watching ads, and didn't really matter to me that much. I mean, I know that a lot of them, they were skippable after a few seconds. They weren't that obtrusive. Let's just see what happens. But here's what's interesting now, is that when I monetize my videos, I have like 160 something videos, right? It only allowed like maybe a third of them to be monetized, and the other ones it said not suitable for most advertisers. What you're seeing up here right now, this is the YouTube help screen, the help center, guiding me with this. So now here, this is a lot of interesting stuff I'm just learning now. I thought this would be interesting to you guys. So if the content of a video is identified as not suitable for advertisers, you'll get an email to the email address associated with your account. So that's, I guess, when you first just post it. But now I'm just going back to all my videos and monetizing them, and a third of them were able to be monetized. Now here is the most not suitable for most advertisers if. Here's the reasons. And let's see where. Here's the guidelines, okay? Advertiser-friendly content guidelines. These are the things that are no good right here. And you see I'm highlighting here, it's underlined is firearms-related content. But that's mixed in with inappropriate language. So they're actually putting firearms. It just says firearms related content. It doesn't say like abuse of firearms right here, or like, doing things illegal with them, or showing how to perform modifications that are illegal. That would be understandable, It's just talking about just content related to firearms. Goes along with inappropriate language, violence, adult content, harmful or dangerous acts, hateful content, incendiary and demeaning. Incendiary. I always thought that had to do with something burning. I didn't know that that's actually just like a verb, or a what's that word that describes a noun? Gotta go back to school. Recreational drugs and drug-related content, tobacco-related content. You could almost understand most of these things, you know. I mean, if it's just pure spewing hate, listen, I'm a big First Amendment guy. You really should be able to post whatever you want here. But if you're like using YouTube to like rally the KKK members in your neighborhood, I mean, I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? They have a right to be like, that's not what the spirit of what this is really here for. And adult content, I mean, if you, it's not up there, like, we don't do porn. If you want to do porn, go to like a porn website. You know what I mean? And like violence, if you're talking about like, you know, like UFC and boxing and stuff like that, that I wouldn't agree with. But I don't know. Who doesn't like to watch some violence? I mean, that's all that's in the movies and TV these days. Why not on YouTube, right? But at least these are things that are at least, you have an argument for why they're bad, right? Yeah, I didn't even finish here. Controversial issues and sensitive events. That one's stupid. Controversial issues and sensitive events is exactly what a website like this would be for, I would think. I mean, that's where you're talking about where it can actually be useful, is to debate certain things. And listen, there might be an issue I could watch YouTube videos on. It could change my views on something. It could and change my own policy on how I feel about certain things. That would be an important part of YouTube. Adult themes in family content. Huh. I guess that would be up to them if they put something in a family content area that had adult themes, but whatever. Mixed in with all this is firearms related content. Well, these are clickable, so let's click on this and see exactly what they're talking about here. Firearms related content constitutes content focused on the sale, assembly, abuse, or misuse of firearms is not suitable for advertising. That's the sentence that covers what is these firearms related content is being broken down to this, focused on the sale. So let's take these things one thing at a time. Sale. I've known that. I think I did a video once where it was for a 1897 shotgun. I didn't break the extractor, but there was always a screw in a hole where there's supposed to be an extractor in there. And I purchased the extractor on eBay, and I did a video with me taking the screw out and swapping the extractor in. That wasn't the extractor, it was the ejector. And if you know, familiar with the 1897, it's that little screw on the outside that screws in like just a metal tang that knocks the shell out. The easiest, remove and replace video ever. But I think I might have given the guy a heads up that I bought it from on eBay, and I might have like either shown his card, or I might have said, yeah, and I got it from a guy on eBay whose screen name is whatever. And then after reading this, I'm like, you know what? That's why they kicked out that video. They kicked out that video because I mentioned the company. How these algorithms, or these, I think computers monitor YouTube. Not exclusively. I mean, there are people that watch stuff, but for the most part, when you ask for a review, then a human watches it supposedly. But I think a lot of this content filtering is done by algorithms and computers and things, and that's pretty amazing that they would have caught that somehow. Maybe it's trained to see if it reads a phone number. I might have shown his business card. I don't know. But that was the only one. It got thrown out, that video. I don't talk about the sale of anything else. I mean, I've given a heads up. I've been like, hey, I got a new gun from Widener's or something like that. But I mean, oh, watch now, this video gets taken down. But this is ineligible now because I mentioned. I don't think there's any. That's like saying, like, listen, I was walking down the street and I figured I'd stop at McDonald's, and then I went to this and that. It's almost like in conversation I'll mention stuff like that. I'm not in the business of selling, so if anything, you're just throwing a heads up out there. You know, you're not getting any money back from it, is what I'm saying. Well, anyway, so I don't do sale. Now, when they talk about assembly, I think they're talking about how to take A, B, C, and D and make a gun out of it. That's what I'm thinking they're talking about, and we'll show you. We're going to go down later when they start talking about other stuff. Don't read down here yet. Let's just stick up here. There you go. So it's assembly. I don't think they're talking about me if I take a gun apart and put it back together. I don't think that's what they're talking about. And we'll get to that later. Now, abuse and misuse. I guess you could put these together. It's kind of like one thing. Definitely not abusing. Abuse is almost like if you're like hitting it with a hammer when you're trying to fix it. It's like like misuse of firearms, but abuse of firearms is just kind of like, you know, somebody like sawing away at it or something, trying to like restore it and destroying it. So yeah, I agree with that one. I don't think there should be any firearm abuse on this channel at all. I'd like to think I don't do any firearm abuse. Definitely no misuse. So that's it. That's all it really says here. I don't think any of my videos do any of these things. Let's see. They break it down a little bit. Let's check it out. Promoting the sale of a firearm. So you're not allowed to go like, hey, here's my Winchester 1897. You want to buy it? Contact me. Leave a message. All right, I get it. It's not a firearm sale website. I don't do that. Sale of parts or components that is essential to or enhances the functionality of a firearm. So 80% finished gun parts. I don't know where they come up with it. 80% finished. That's odd. You just gun parts. Where's this 80% finished? I don't know what that means. Ammunition clips. This is for selling. This isn't like I do plenty of videos on ammunition and ammunition clips. I'm not selling it. Silencers, ammunition belt stocks. They have to sit and break it down like they think they're doing like some kind of legislation here. They have to break down, and again, they don't know what they're talking about. Gun grips, scope sights, promotional content for gun stores. You know, I hear some channels doing that. Like they do, like Ian Hickok does like meet and greets, and he starts talking about like who lends him the guns for the videos. I think he just doesn't even care. I don't think his stuff is monetized anymore, and I don't think he cares. I think that's why he puts stuff up on Patreon to try to get subscribers to, get some money for him. Manufacturers or discount, and he definitely does because he gives a heads up to who supplies ammo for him and stuff. Manufacturers or discount codes for gun stores. I don't do any of this. And nothing I'm doing has anything to do with sales. It's just in like, check out this Browning design. It's awesome. I don't even talk about where I pick up my own firearms. My own guns. I don't talk about where I buy them. I say I was at a gun show. I went to a gun store. That's it. Instructions about the assembly of any firearms, including parts or components thereof. So this is what I was talking about before. I don't think they're talking about me showing how to take apart a gun to clean it and put it back together. That can't be what they're talking about. They're talking about firearm making instructions. Like they're talking about putting together a gun from parts that wasn't a gun to begin with. You know what I mean? Like zip guns kind of things or something. That's firearm making instructions. And now with these 3D printers and stuff. That's what they're talking about. See, software or equipment. There you go. 3D printing of guns or gun parts. I swear I didn't read that when I said it, but that's what they're talking about. They're talking about making guns, not taking a firearm from the early part of the 20th century and taking it apart and restoring it and putting it back together again. And abuse or misuse of the firearm, content where firearms are discharged in an unsafe environments. And the only place I've ever shown firearms discharged were at a range or on I have a friend's property upstate that we use he built his own range there, and it's these are safe. There's been no unsafe discharging. So that's it. I don't really see why any of my videos would be flagged. But now here's what's interesting. Let me go back. Now, here's what happens. If you're not happy, if you think that our systems have made a mistake, you can request a human review. So I can click on these things and say, I want it reviewed. You won't monetize it because you're saying it doesn't meet your policies. Well, I want it reviewed. I'm just talking about a freaking Winchester, Model 12, and I'm taking it apart and showing some pieces of it and talking about the history of it, and That's it. So your review gets sent to an expert, and their decisions help our systems get smarter over time. All right, that sounds good enough. If your stupid computer can't figure it out, one of your experts will figure out, right? Deleting the video and re-uploading it won't help. Videos can only be submitted for review one time, and the review decision cannot be overturned. So if you submit it for review and they say, no, it doesn't meet the criteria, you can't say, oh, well, I took something out, I fixed it, I changed it. That's it. You can't you re-add that. And our human experts confirm that your video, oh, this is why it's marked not suitable. So you can review it, but now here, there's criteria for reviewing it. I hate to bore you guys, but this was blowing my mind. This is why I don't think this monetization thing is going to work on this channel for long. I was surprised that they even gave it to me to begin with, because if they're going to really feel that way about my videos, they should have just, if 2/3 of them don't meet the criteria, you would think that none of them do. They're all the same. They're all about guns, you know. If your video is marked not suitable for most advertisers and you think we got it wrong, you could request a human review. Here's the criteria for that. If you have more than 10,000 subscribers, which I don't, we will review your unlisted video regardless of view count. If you have fewer than 10,000 subscribers, and that's me, I mean, I just got over 1,000 that I'm happy after all these years. I'm not coming near 10,000 anytime soon. So I'm in this category. Your video will need at least 1,000 views in 7 days before experts can review it. So now basically they're saying, like, if you're not someone with a tremendous amount of views, then our computers are just going to make a decision and you're stuck with it. That's basically what it says. This means you may need to publish the video and get views before we can review it. So 1,000 views in 7 days, then they'll look at it to see. They'll only look at it to see if a human can reverse it. I mean, I guess there's no way a human would be able to look at every single video that gets, chucked. But that's what they're telling me. I have to have more than 10,000 subscribers, and they'll look at it right away, regardless of view count. Otherwise, I'm never going to hit this amount of reviews. So anything that it's going to stay that way now. 2/3 cannot be monetized, period. And here's how they get. In the first few hours of a video upload, we use machine learning to determine if a video meets our advertiser-friendly guidelines. Machine learning. This applies to live streams, where our systems look at the title, description, thumbnail, and tags. See, so it's looking, maybe if I don't tag anything with firearms related words, and I just leave the most benign description at first. And just write, like, check out my new video, guys. That's it. And then maybe add later. We know our system doesn't always get it right. So if you see a yellow icon in your video manager and feel our automated system's made a mistake, you can request a human review. So that's where we're at. It's monetized. I'm monetizing all the videos. I think that 2/3 of them are not going to be playing ads. And some of those advertisers might look at those videos and be like, no, we definitely want. I mean, sports-related stuff, like people that are, like Cabela's had an ad or something like that, they would do great on my channel. Ads like that. They would love it. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't want, like, an ad for Pampers or something. It's like, yeah, it would only make sense. Or like some child-related stuff, like a video for board games or something. If they're smart about what they put up on my channel, there would be plenty of advertisers that would love to have their videos up on a channel like mine, that sell sports-related gear, hunting, camping, hiking, outdoorsy kind of stuff. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? Anyway, so now I'm gonna take this channel up a notch. I'm gonna step into a realm that this channel has never been. So I know I've been a little bit quiet lately. It's been a little bit of a wacky summer. But don't have anything going on this weekend, so I think after work tomorrow, I think I'll get in there and I'll post a video. I want to really see what these guys are going to flag and not monetize for me, like from starting from here on. And like I said, I'll make a determination as to whether or not I'm going to even leave this monetization up there. But if you see some ads, bear with me. I'm not really trying to shake anybody down. I just want to really see what that's about. And I'll keep you guys posted from behind the scenes as to how this all works, and I'll be honest about every dollar that I see on here. Let's really see what actually happens with this YouTube thing, if they take it a step up to make it more serious. But looks kind of bleak right off the bat when only 1/3. And some of my I have a few videos that have like one of them has almost 100,000 views. It's on Browning A5 shotgun tip. That was it was like one of my first videos, and I think it's just kind of silly and wonky, but everybody loves it, and it gets a lot of hits and a lot of positive thumbs up and a lot of positive comments, and it's just kind of like a silly, quirky video. But that video they did not allow to be monetized. I mean, could you imagine? It's so benign. There's nothing going on. I'm just showing how to cycle rounds through it with the cutoff. I mean, that's all I'm doing. So silly. How silly we've become. Anyway, have a good one, people. And like I said, I'll be back. I'm going to come in there and turn it up a notch the next couple of weeks to make this channel a little serious and see how the monetization thing goes. See y'all soon.